Hello everyone, and welcome to my Halloween pick, Death Note 2017.
Buy your torches and pitchforks there.
I have never seen it.
Forget buying them. Like, they're free, just take them.
Thanks a lot, Siri.
This is a movie I decided to watch after marathoning the anime, and that was a mistake.
What did the anime? Was the anime not very good?
Remember, Dwebs, anime was a mistake already anyway. So this also was, which by extension makes every adaptation of an anime a mistake.
No, it's not that Dwebs. The anime is great, but this movie, it's like it's kind of like what we're doing with Avatar, basically.
Right.
Well. Only in reverse, I guess, yeah, like that.
Yeah, in reverse, yes.
Was
anyway,
the manga a mistake?
I don't think anyone's ever said that manga's a mistake.
Alright.
Maybe I can be the one to do it. Go ahead, Dwebs.
So we're going to start just before the Netflix logo.
Yes.
Since this is a Netflix movie until it comes to DVD.
Yes, because as South Park taught us, Netflix is desperate in picking up anything they can.
Alright, everyone ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
I'll be quite honest, I have not really seen the Death Note anime in full. I've seen it in
I
chunks.
did and read the manga, so I'll mostly be your source reliant material from this. Also Vertigo, really.
Which is kind of interesting because of all of us, Teo is the one who's not really a fan of neither the anime nor the manga.
Yeah,
partially. I said also before doing this, but let me elaborate a bit. The premise of this entire franchise is actually really interesting and a nice change of pace for Weekly Shonen Jump instead of their casual fighter story type, like if it would have made like another JoJo clone or something. So this was doing more psychological stuff. There was still some violence, but it was still more psychological. The problem is that from halfway through, it just drops to me. The good news is that the movie doesn't even reach pretty much the halfway point of the manga slash anime. The bad news is the movie, it's his own beast.
Wait, hold on. So they don't even reach, the culmination finale of
Barely.
manga?
No, well, not quite, no.
That's kind of weird. I mean,
They expected this shit to be a cash cow they could use to franchise the shit out of it.
Also, I haven't read the manga, but in terms of the anime, it was like Tio said, the halfway point where it kind of dropped off for a bit.
Mm-hmm. From what I've seen and gathered about the anime and the manga, and basically the original source material is like, well, it's good, but has a lot of pretentious moments and does have a lot of those draggy moments where they expect you to be excited by people talking in a room about this or that.
Is this the Asylum parody of High School Musical?
I don't know. As Teo would say, at least High School Musical was its own original piece of crap instead of shitting on a pre-established franchise.
Yeah.
Also, this music's incredibly unfitting.
It reminds me of Labyrinth.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting? This is kind of relevant that we're doing this movie now, considering the screenwriter of the anime is the same guy who's the screenwriter of Fair Fencer F.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And also Blue Dragon, if I recall.
Reminds me of how we commentated on...
You mean the anime?
I think so. Let me check a bit because I had the Wikipedia page.
God, damn, this guy is just
at least
shitting on everything, isn't he?
Takeshi Obata, let me see where it was.
Wasn't Toshiki Inoue, though? Or maybe I'm mistaking it again. Maybe.
Oh no, Obata served as the artist of Blue Dragon Largrad, a manga adaptation of the fantasy video game Blue Dragon.
Hey Paige, I find out
So
one
they
reason...
did a manga adaptation of Blue Dragon and they didn't even bother to ask Akira Toriyama doing it.
Yeah.
I think I found out the reason why the music sounds not very fitting.
Which is it?
It's done by one half of the noisy duo.
Oh, brilliant!
Also, these students are pussies. Usually, at least from what I know, rugby matches continues even with the rain.
I guess most of these students...
Also, generic bully.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say this for Teo and do this because we're gonna find this. Oh, sorry. This is important, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's our protagonist, Light Yagami. Oh
Wait,
it's
that's
not even called
N?
Light. Actually, no, Light Yagami. It's not even called Light Yagami.
Sorry.
It's called Light Turner.
Turner. Because the first thing I need to be reminded of when I'm watching Death Note is the fairy odd parents. Fucking hell, man.
Also,
no.
that comeback.
Yeah, just no.
Would it interest you guys to know that the one who rewrote the script was one of the writers of Fantastic?
Brilliant.
Isn't this movie just made up of a bunch of...
So we have half of the noise you do. We have one of the writers of Fantastic. Brilliant. Let's get some of the worst. Why don't you even get Michael Bitt to write it while you're at it?
And now his professors and the principal find out he was essentially making all the tests for the other students because he's such a genius mind or something.
Oh, it's okay. So we got Mia now, not what's her name originally?
Lisa.
Which is funny because I've actually heard, I've heard this is actually one area in which the film actually improves on the source material. Because I've heard originally the character of Misa was apparently this annoying fangirl.
Oh, she's annoying, but let's just say she's useful, whereas Mia here does nothing.
From what I recall, she was pretty much the Harley Quinn to Light.
Sort
I
of.
guess, yeah.
Not just that. Guess what, Theo and Waves? I found this out. Like I said, in TV and movies, he's only mostly known for doing Kamen Rider stuff. But in anime, he's done. He was a writer for Yu-Gi-Oh. He was a. Guess what, Waves? He was a writer for a Bomberman anime. And
really?
yes.
Oh, Rap the Apple thing.
And he wrote the Devil May Cry animated series.
Oh.
I forgot Devil May Cry had an animated series.
It wasn't completely bad. It was done by the studio who made Hellsing, so it made sense.
Now you know what we're all looking forward to is our commentaries of a Darkstalkers animated series.
Brilliant.
Also, great way to do it. And now he just has the Death Note like that.
Well, actually, to be fair, we saw earlier the Death Note fell out of the sky.
Yeah, it did, but the way he actually got it in the first place, it was paced much better in the end. Also, another thing, the Death Note is particular because the rules, while are mostly correct, they just take some liberties.
They break every single one of them, though, I'm pretty sure.
Taking that aside, Shiroi, there are just a few of them, and to make sure they get remembered, they are on white text on black pages. Here is just Tom Riddle's diary from Chamber of Secrets.
Hey, you know that rule they just said earlier where you have to have the guy's face in your mind? That's pretty easy nowadays, considering Facebook and social media.
Well, Teo, it's kind of like. So I'm guessing, Teo, this is one.
What?
Marbles.
So I'm guessing, Teo, this.
Go ahead, Pedro.
So I'm guessing, Teo, this movie suffers from the same problem of Dragon Ball Evolution, where it takes notes from everything except the fucking source material.
Pretty much.
Now, whether that will work for this movie as something of its own thing,
Also,
or just make
marbles
it
were never a thing in the original. We just decided to
Again,
have.
Jova, I mentioned earlier, one of the writers is the one who wrote one of the writers of Fantastic.
So yeah, I'm not exactly optimistic here.
Fantastic.
Get it out of your system.
Jova, don't step on Legos while you do this.
Ooh,
Oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, and waves, William Dafoe as Ryuk, the Shinigami.
Hey,
I'm not even sure how to say that with a straight face.
Willem Dafoe in Death Note.
This scene also plays out differently in the anime.
Let's just say that it had more dignity to it. Light
Well,
as
to
a
be
character
fair,
had much more
if I
dignity.
Well, to be fair, if I saw that guy, would you guys have that reaction too?
Let's
That's
just say
exactly-
Light is an interesting
Leaves,
human being.
That's exactly how to accentuate the type of character that Light is in the original anime, in the original source material. The way he reacted to Ryuk is unnatural and barely human, which describes essentially his psychopathic, sociopathic nature.
I don't know. I think this one's funnier.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is, but it's still insulting. Also, I think we actually got right the fact that Shinigamis are actually gluttonous for apples. some reason.
So does he at least look like the Shimigan?
He does.
Unfortunately, well,
For the most part, anyway.
yes, but unfortunately, we don't really get to see the
That
full
much,
costume
yeah.
properly. Yeah,
Well, to
he's
be
mostly
fair-
put in shadow.
Well, to be fair, if you've seen the Japanese live-action films, there's a reason for that.
Also, didn't they kind of save his full reveal until like the later half anyway?
No, Ryuk gets introduced very early on.
No. I'm talking about physically, you know, like
Yeah.
actually getting to see him full. I mean,
Yeah. We
Oh,
see
yeah,
him
no, you
very
see him
early on.
very early.
Also, this blur, god damn it.
Well, I guess, again, I understand keeping him in the shadows because A, it's a pretty cheap movie. It was only like $40 million it cost. And B, again, the Japanese live-action films, from what I've seen, they have him not in the shadows and he looks terrible.
Go and get me Spider-Man. Oh, wait.
I'll
Wrong,
talk about Ryuk more as this goes along, but the one thing I will give Willem Dafoe is that I think his voice works.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Also,
So
another
that's about
thing.
the only thing, shall we say?
In the original source material, Light tests the Death Note on its own when Ryuk shows up when he senses that something happened. Here, Ryuk just asks him Light to test. I don't mind that. The problem is that how they test it.
Yeah.
Originally, Light decided to test it on a person who was doing a terrorist attack on a school, and it actually worked. Here, he's just trying to kill the random bully that injured him and the others previously.
Also, you all know how they're supposed to die, right?
Yeah.
Attack.
Here's the rule, Jova. If you don't write anything outside of a name, it's a heart attack after 40 seconds. Instead, you can actually write the way they can die, but they had to be plausible. If they cannot be recreated physically in their environment, it just happens to be the heart attack.
Oh boy, I've heard this bit's funny.
Yep, watch this death, right?
Oh boy, here we go.
It's gonna get his head blasted
No
off.
way.
Wait.
No way.
Just watch.
I'm gonna kill her with a
This is
basketball.
glorious.
Oh, I get it. It's gonna be one of those Rube Goldberg kind of deaths.
Wait, what?
Wait for it.
Wee.
Oh, beautiful, simply beautiful.
Here's another problem.
Is this a Sci-Fi Channel movie?
Okay. If they at least keep up this level of comedy, I will admit that this is probably failed as a legit adaptation.
Here,
but
Jova, Pedro.
Allow me to take one of your lines from our happening commentary. The problem is that they want us to take this completely seriously.
I know. That's what I was about to say. As an adaptation, this fails, but as a comedy parody, this would so succeed.
Also, another thing. One of the reasons why Obata decided to implement the heart attack main rule was also because of not necessarily showing violence, but at the same time showing that Kira is able to kill a lot of people in an effective way that didn't show gore. Here, he's just having some gratuitous gore for no reason at all. I don't mind, but this is just pathetic. Also,
Are there
really...
Are there different varieties of death in the anime?
Yes.
Yes, but you're gonna see for the most part the heart attack thing.
Because if it's just heart attacks all the time, that would get pretty boring.
Not all the time, but let's just say 80%. Also, another thing. This is supposed to be Light's dad. I guess we couldn't replicate that due to licensing issue, but in the original stuff, it pretty much looks like a manga version of Commissioner Gordon from Batman. Here is just... I guess discount Sam Neill.
Okay, weren't his parents abusive in the original source material?
No, they were actually.
Oh, no.
The father was okay, nice, an interesting character, but the mother was, and the sister especially, were just there. They did nothing, pretty much.
The father had the most involvement.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different character, the one who had amnesia.
So his dad's a police officer.
Oh, of course.
sleep at night knowing you just watched while a mob guy like Anthony Scoma walked away.
Hey, what you think I just watched?
If I was a cop and some guy ran over my wife, I'd be pretty pissed off if his dad paid his way out of jail. He killed my mom. He nearly beat his girlfriend to death. And
Oh,
just sit there. You just sit there.
his mom
Also,
said in this version.
exposition.
Weird. Wasn't his mother alive in the original?
Yeah, about that.
Let me guess. His mother died while she was pregnant with his unborn sister in this version.
You see what I mean, Waves? I mean, understand that the adaptation, you need to change something, but this is taking it to the extreme.
Let me put it this way.
So, let me get this straight. In order to make it more grim and I guess him wanting to seek justice, his mother and sister who were alive in the original were both collectively killed by somebody who got away with it.
Joe, the Death Note is pretty grim.
Oh, I know.
It was.
No. Sure. I get that. I'm talking about Miracle in a cheap way of adding grimness to this particular version. Because, like, okay. You know what? Okay. Ignoring how stupid it is that they killed off two characters like that, it does at least give Light something of a motivation to actually want to use the Death Note the way he does. So that at least makes sense. The problem is that, why didn't they just stick with the original?
Not just that, but
Don't get me wrong, Miracle. I mean, I guess it works. The problem is, like, well, I'm just wondering, for what purpose?
not just that, but allow me to add what you said too. The best way to put it is like this: changes are fine. I for myself, I'm even one of those who will say, yes, it's cool that you're making an adaptation different, but at the same time, if you're going to change it to the point where it's completely unrecognizable from the source material, then what's the point of adapting to begin with?
I was gonna keep this. I was gonna keep this until the end, but since
okay, I'm gonna answer later in another context. Oh, sorry, you could go ahead, Shirai. Sorry.
It's okay. Since Pedro made a good point there, I thought I'd bring this up now. Somebody came up with a good idea because, without spoiling anything, the ending for the anime, at least, is quite open-ended, and I think there's a prologue to the manga as well. And what they should have done instead was create a sort of sequel with different characters that has no connection to any of the characters in the original Japanese version, because there's no sequel setup. Well, no, sorry, there's no sequel baiting, but there is a lot of potential there for a sequel setup, and I agree that they should have gone that route instead.
From what I can gather off of this so far, for the most part, this seems to be like an alternate take on the Death Note series. Like, well, okay, basically, in a way, I mean, it checks stuff off. I mean, we cover, like, getting the Death Note. We get his... What the heck?
So, hang on. Each death must be physically possible, yeah, because that last death...
Yeah, that's what I meant before with the rule waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Joe.
But you're right. The one was still impractical.
Yeah. For me, so far, this seems to be, like, pretty much an alternate take on things. Like, well, to be fair, it does cover, like, getting the Death Note. They actually do mention the rules, and, we actually do get a reason for Light wanting to use the Death Note, the death of his mother and sister. It's just that each of those are, shall I say, executed differently from the original source. In, like, well, way in where, so far, I feel like this could work as its own thing, but that's the thing. Literally, the only similar thing I'd say is the Death Note itself. I mean, they get stuff done the same way, but it's the methodology that's different.
Honestly, I think it's what Shirai, man, the suggestion Shirai did was the best case. Having just a completely different setting after that, just maybe referencing some of the characters of the original anime manga story, and just being not a spiritual successor, but a direct successor somewhere else.
Yeah. I think I can agree. I mean, honestly, I think
here is just, it's just deneutering the original material and just insulting it in the process.
So what does this guy die of then?
Good question. To be honest, we never tried the fact that the pen could have, exhausted.
Oh, here we go. We get to see how he dies.
Mafia guy.
Godfatherless death.
Because he speaks Italian, bada bing, boom, boom.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Oops, he got his face shoved in the glass.
Again, this sounds like a movie that was made by the creators of Sharknado.
Who was it? Oh no, it was Jova. You said this should have been like a spoof instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Two things I could have saved this from what I've seen so far: either make it a spoof for comedy, or just make it something like a spiritual success. Like, go have it be about the Death Note, but with a different cast of characters. Because honestly, I kind of am getting some legit entertainment out of this, and I will admit most problems seem to be from the fact that it's not really holding up to how the original source material did things. Because, for all its problems, they have actually explained to us the Death Note, how it works, and again, they've given our character motivation for why he does the stuff he does. If this were just a different cast of characters, I think we'd be much more in the clear. Granted, I haven't seen the rest of this movie yet, but so far, I'll admit, I have more good things to say about it than bad things.
For me,
Again,
it's
though,
mainly-
remember, this is me just going off of the inkling of this as its own thing as opposed to adaptation. Adaptation-wise, yeah, it's weak.
Yes, it's intense. So
yeah, somebody's already smashing things because they hate this so much.
Pedro?
No. That was me. I was moving myself around and my leg accidentally kicked a chair.
No, not really, Joe, but this isn't even pissing me off. This is just stupid.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the deaths are hilarious.
Yeah, but they're just like 10 seconds.
Well,
I really don't want to make a sex joke.
I'll admit, I'm digging Willem Dafoe in this movie. Then again, it's Willem Dafoe.
Also, no one is noticing the fact that he's holding
let me
a
guess.
black book.
He's going to have it so that a guy's head gets taken off by a basketball.
Or imagine a guy's face gets crushed by a basketball while someone's dribbling down the court. We call it the Slam Jam.
Hello.
Who's this?
Mia.
Mia.
But she's not blonde. She
Discount
doesn't,
discount Kristen Stewart.
she doesn't
Pretty
even
much.
have. She doesn't even have the right hairstyle.
I
Well, I
was
wouldn't
just
even
saying.
say that because this girl actually smiles at some point. So
I don't know if you were here earlier, Jova, but from what I've heard, this is actually one of the few times where apparently this actually has something over the anime and manga.
Do
like
tell.
I said, I disagree because even though she, like Misa, was incredibly annoying, she was useful.
Yeah.
I don't know, Shira. You can be as useful as you. If you grate on my nerves every time you screen, I just want you dead.
Weird. Wasn't she supposed to be infatuated with light or something?
Yes.
She
yes.
essentially, again, it's like I think either you or Dweebs or Peter, I forgot who said she's essentially the Harley Quinn to
Yeah, that
Light's
was me.
Joker.
Well, okay. Let's see how they handle
Only
it
a
over
bit
here.
more annoying with the fact that she was the stereotypical.
Yeah, I mean, usefulness can only go so. Before I just completely lose interest.
From what I do remember, the original, a bit of her annoyance did have to do with the show's dragging nature to the point. She was relatively fine in the first half, but by the second half, oh.
Also, this scene,
blows.
yeah.
What, are they about to have a sex scene?
One of the rules
No.
is that as soon as a person that's not the original owner of the Death Note touches it, he or she is able to see the Shinigami.
Oh, goody.
But here, it doesn't work.
Willem
Is
Dafoe.
this a twist?
Willem Dafoe prefers it this way too.
I suppose.
I don't get it.
Oh,
reason
you know what's
why-
funny?
Don't you see it, Jova? It's William Dafoe. You don't question it.
You know what's funny, guys?
What?
During test screenings, there were sex scenes between Light and Mia.
Joyful.
They got
So-
cut out.
I really don't understand that the idea, the direction they wanted to do to this project in the first place.
Didn't the
Anyway,
original have sex scenes, though?
You're
No.
going to say something,
No,
Shiri?
Well,
actually
it-
didn't.
it was clearly stated that Light and Misa had a relationship, albeit just as Joker and like Queen had. Light is essentially just using Misa as a tool for his project and doesn't actually have a complete 400% love for her.
He's
Depends on
her
which era.
infatuation to.
But they
help.
had a relationship nonetheless, just not in the physical way. Again, groundbreaking as the rest doing the. Compared to the other Weekly Shonen Jump material, the love themes of the story was not a big focus. It was an element, but not a big deal. Also, there you go. They're creating now the scenes at the school with the terrorists.
Also, Tia, better be careful.
And
Remember,
it's completely anticlimactic.
Well,
Gotcha.
is it at the very least more tasteful than Pure Flux's adaptation of the Columbine
No.
shooting? yeah. This isn't even like I said, this isn't even a matter of being bad taste or anything. This is just stupid. And bleh.
Yeah. You were
what
saying,
a
Java?
creative- Yeah. Anyway, gotta be careful, Tia. Remember, there are several.
Steps into traffic.
I can understand, Jova, you finding the gross out, stupid violence funny, but at the same time, for me, it's like
What? No. I wasn't about to talk about that.
Well, I was talking about what you said earlier, not now, but
Alright.
but for me, it's just like when I see this kind of shit all the time on the Sci-Fi Channel, because the Sci-Fi Channel recently became available for free in my country. So I've been checking that out as well. So I see this kind of stuff all the time on that channel. So honestly, at this point, if I wanted to watch a Sci-Fi Channel movie, I'd watch a Sci-Fi Channel movie, honestly.
Besides, as I mentioned, they're like 10 seconds each in a, 1 hour and a half movie. Like, you really want to spend like 1/100th of a movie just to enjoy that.
Well, if you recall, it's not really just the gross out humor that's had me laughing. I mean, well, for one thing, Light's reaction to Ryuk when he first shows up. I mean, again, collectively, and it's not just the deaths. I will say that this feels like its own different continuity, like a more comedic one.
Question, Jova, have you seen the Piranha movies?
No, but I've seen it.
Oh, Mega Piranha, I mean?
No, I think you're
basically,
talking about Piranha movie, the one that actually
Is that the one with the guy that's a bicycle kicking on the beach, so the piranhas coming to him?
No. It's one where basically all of a sudden piranhas come into the beach and start eating shit out of her. To give you an idea, too, there's even a scene where the piranhas literally eat out a guy's dick, and you even see the dick falling in the sea and drowning and shit.
Tasty.
Like it's basically the kind of gross out violent gore that this movie sometimes does. So
Oh god, you're able to kill someone, it makes me horny. Go ahead.
basically it's that kind of exploitative sci-fi channel shit that so honestly, even the gross out stuff in this movie isn't really making me amused because I already have like a saturation of that in Sci-Fi Channel anyway. So
This relationship feels so real.
it feels like an
Anyway.
Sorry, go ahead.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, remember, Tio, there are several different Jokers in the DC universe, and one of them actually legitimately cares for Harley, but will kill her if she abandons her.
Yeah, not just that, Jova. Besides, we all know that the best ship is Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Come on.
I guess.
It's the same kind of argument that I use for the.
But remember, Tio, Poison Ivy is a good guy now. I see.
Half of Batman's rogue gallery has reformed at some point. You were saying, Pedro?
It's the same. It's the same kind of argument that I use for the whole porn thing in David Cage and Fairy Fencer. If I wanted to watch porn, I'd watch porn.
Yeah, I guess.
Death montage.
Charming.
They're a bunch of sheep.
Anyway, what annoyed me.
They're a
was the
bunch of
fact
sheep.
that
Oh, you mean
he
like the people who
told-
made this movie?
You were saying, Shiri, sorry.
Like, he just randomly told this chick who at the time he barely knew about the Death Note. It's like this goes back to a problem that Jova unintentionally brought up. It's like doing this with a different cast of characters, because when you've gotten to know and love the characters from the original, seeing them be complete and utter dipshit is actually quite difficult and painful.
Well,
Yeah, I can agree with that. Again, like I said, if this were, a different cast of characters, this would definitely be a lot more legitimate.
It's like, this Light is a moron.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Also,
Shiroi,
exactly.
Sorry, go on,
The
Pedro.
idea of that I had to associate this character with someone who, okay, it isn't, but someone who was much greater than him.
So you're going to use a Japanese name to disguise yourself. Your
Kira,
logic is
yeah.
they'll think it's from Japan, but when it kind of stick out more, they'll still
Also,
they'll still
discount
notice,
your Takei.
they'll still notice it's coming out of Seattle.
Hey, guys, remember that scene in the original anime where they treat the fact that Light was Kira like a big freaking twist?
to be fair, Shiroi, telling her that to her got him laid. So
Yeah, but
It was
also
all worth it,
about
I mean.
that, really, movie, you can show all the gore that you want, but you're too afraid to have more than 5 seconds of PG-13 sex.
Yeah, that does seem like a weird double standard.
I mean, granted, as I mentioned to Dibs, I wouldn't be ecstatic at the idea of all of those sex scenes, but if
see-
you want to try doing something,
Like,
just go all the
gore
way
is
out.
fine, but boobs are obscene.
you see,
Also,
Shiroi.
churches.
You see, Shiroi, this is an Americanized Light. So obviously, it was a decision between the power of boner or the power of storytelling. And in American media, that choice is very obvious.
But yeah. Going back to what I was saying, one flaw I did have with the original was how they treated the fact that Light was Kira like a big twist. Like that one scene where he reveals, "I am Kira," and then the girl's so shocked that she just turns away and walks.
Yeah, that one was actually an episode where he kills a person who was suspecting of him, and that was the big twist of the episode.
Yeah, but it felt just so needless and like, yeah, I honestly found that one of the duds.
I
As
know
we
now.
know, I
Sorry.
mean, Light is
What? Okay, are we?
Yeah,
Is this
yeah,
is this holy terror now?
No,
Yeah,
no,
sure, we were at that point.
no.
Ladies and gentlemen and dweebs, this is the guy with the black. This guy is L.
Elle is black in this one.
That's
And-
I have a problem with that, but
I
kind of-
don't
No,
even
I don't have a problem
wanna-
with that either, but
Art,
Elle is a lot more.
He looks like
interesting.
Malcolm from Doug's acting crew from the Nostalgia Critic.
not just that. But did this suddenly turn into holy terror? I mean, anyway.
Well, you don't see. Here's the thing: L is supposed to be this eccentric, psychotic person who was raised in an orphanage for difficult
Voice.
people, which had, and in turn, he showcased to have an incredible intelligence. His spectrum kind of reflects into the autistic character seen, for example, in stuff like The Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman. Here, I don't even know how to describe this L.
Well, he
Honestly.
looks
One thing I will
eccentric.
say is that this guy's acting is actually pretty decent.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, okay. Mannerisms, yeah, he definitely reminds me of Elle.
Yeah, the thing that Vic Hevet is he needs pastries and candies all the time.
Yeah, I'm surprised he has any teeth left.
Diabetes.
To be fair, Elle is kind of silly like this in the original.
That's the guy with the glasses is Al Jova. What am I? We're 30 minutes and it's already like 2 hours.
I know
What
now,
the
without a doubt.
The Kingdom Hearts is like.
Death
yeah,
Note
I
is
wish-
light. Death Note is
I
light.
wish I was playing Kingdom Hearts right now.
So, Kingdom Hearts is light?
No, Death Note is light. Because, you know, light. Ha 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 ha.
I thought Light owned the Death Note, though.
Details, Jova, details.
Investigation? Since when? And why are you just telling me this now?
My god, when this is not going for stupid slapstick gore shit, it's so boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not even pissed off, I'm just bored.
Like, Dweebs,
Do something, you stupid movie!
You may have found, for example, Light's semantics in the original a bit too pompous and everything, but at least they were entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
I do need to stress though, I've only seen like a few scenes.
The potato chips meme, for
Yeah,
example.
you have to actually sit down. When it comes to anime, there's especially anime of that particular kind, you have to really sit down and watch a couple episodes in a go, not just watch a couple scenes out of context. That doesn't really work.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I will say, I'll admit the novelty of this movie is kind of starting to wear a bit. I mean, okay, we know the characters, but, actually...
They're not doing anything with them. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, when we know the characters now, you've covered that. Now, do more stuff with them. I mean, okay. So now that
Eat
elves...
shit.
How funny.
Do something.
Well, okay. At the very least, now that L's getting involved, maybe then they'll start doing more stuff. I mean, L's always been entertaining.
Except in
Right.
original, of course, a lot more engaging.
But it could have been worse. Remember, at one point, this film was under Warner Brothers' control, so this could have been a theatrical. At least they're not telling people to waste their money to go to the cinema to see it.
Eh.
I have to say, I mean, Pedro basically summed up how I felt as well, because in the beginning I was laughing at the ridiculousness of it all, but like towards pretty much the halfway point onwards, I was like checking the progress bar for the film every few minutes.
It's not even besides also being not being boring, it's also just sad.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure it's even sad, really, because honestly, the film did show some about a promise to me as being its own alternate continuity, but now they just don't seem to be doing much with it. I mean, come on! It's literally a subject material where a boy has a book that he can write in to kill people.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to do much with the plot, then go over the top with the deaths.
This is the kind of bad movie where I'm just nodding my head at everything. I'm not even bothered. This movie isn't even any kind of angry reaction to me. It's just whatever movie. You're not even trying. Why should I?
I mean, okay, this is the kind of movie that pretty much starts sprinting and then runs out of breath before the halfway point.
The way I see it, there are two kinds of bad movies that do this kind of thing for me. These ones that are just boring, and the ones like Ghostbusters 2016, where they're just embarrassing.
And don't worry, folks, Ghostbusters 2016 is also a Halloween pick.
Joyful. And
Fortunately,
courtesy of our supposed leader, Jova, who decided to torture us with it.
Fortunately, so is Chamber of Secrets and the other one.
Unfriended. And that one at the very least looks like it can be at the very least somewhat more fun to watch, at least, hopefully.
Question, Shiro.
Yes?
One more interesting trivia to ask. What do you think Elle's favorite brand of cereal will be?
Of course, Kellogg's.
Kellogg's.
I guess we're more sugar-like.
Anyway,
we're
Frosties.
literally choosing victims from a board that just classifies it. Light on 4chan will have a field day.
I made a 4chan joke too when I first saw this.
Anyway, Pedro.
Is there any brand of cereal that starts with an L?
An L?
Let me guess. Count Chocula? No. Blueberry?
No.
Cookie Crisp? No. God damn
Lucky
it.
Charms.
Lucky Charms.
There you go. There you go, Theo. Lucky Charms.
So Elle is Irish, apparently.
Ha! Funny.
Hey, why not?
Lucky Charms are the sweetest
remember, Theo, we have to
eaten, so.
remember, Theo. Diversity. So black and Irish.
Anyway.
I don't know, like I said, I actually quite like the actor, but, again, it goes back to original.
Yeah, it goes back to the thing that it should have been its original.
Yeah.
New generation. Let's call it new generation.
Yeah, that I can agree with. Anyway, Pedro.
Yes.
Syntax, you said our supposed leader. No. What you meant to say was our supposed
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh, I know. I was just saying that the joke.
Don't worry, Joe.
As in, a leader wouldn't torture its group with a bad movie.
I know. Pedro,
also, Jova, don't worry. We'll leave our offerings in the morning.
Anyway, Pedro, I know. I was about to make a joke off of that joke.
Okay,
The syntax
sure.
joke. The joke is ruined.
I'm done
Well,
with
was it
sacrificing
also
lambs.
also
okay?
pistachio ice cream sucks? So why would you even eat it?
Hey, allow me to rebuild it. The joke is ruined. Now you know how I felt watching Ghostbusters 2016.
But
Amen to that. High five.
Also, I get it that Al wants to keep his secret identity, but when he wasn't with his collaborators in the original, he actually uncovered the space and everything because he trusted them a lot. Here is just lose, I'm anonymous and shit. Seriously, the only thing he's missing is a Guy Fawkes mask.
You know, one thing I never got. Why on earth, Light, did you actually go on this like a crusade? Like, seriously, you have the ultimate murder weapon that can be untraceable. Why did you have to start making a public hero of yourself with a
To be fair, that's actually what happens also in Regiment here, because
Exactly.
that's the not poetic, because again the source material treats itself way too pompous for my taste, but the idea of Light itself, that due to its attitude, is very arrogant and full of himself. So he starts imagining himself as this physical god that is dictating that life and death on Earth to everyone. So
Which
that's what
eventually
that's what
leads
ultimately
to,
fucks him up in the end, his own
yeah.
pride.
My fellow Canadian, American.
Hey,
Is the sun? And I wish I was watching Astro Boy
Basically-
2009.
Basically, the film's set in Seattle, but was actually filmed in Vancouver, I think.
because it's
Yeah.
cheaper, I guess.
Now, I guess if I can give this movie one credit, it makes sense that L is this covered up because, well,
Yeah.
I forget how he knows, but yeah, I mean, it's a Death Note, so he has to envision the guy's face and know his name. L is
Exactly.
obviously
He needs to
not
know
his
the
real
face
name.
of the subject and its full name, and no nicknames or anything. The full name.
The weird thing is that in the original source material, L had his face so unbelievably exposed to the point where you had wide-angle lens
Yeah,
shots
but
of him.
that's the magic of what it was in the original source material. Jova. Even as the readers, our viewers, we never knew actually how Al was called. But even when he ultimately gets killed, sorry for the spoilers, but that's what happens. When he gets ultimately killed, we still don't know what's his name. The responsible of his death knows it, but we don't know. It's kind of like the Joker in the DC universe.
Speaking of a Joker, Willem Dafoe's on screen, yay!
For like 5 seconds and laughs.
Really?
Must have been the easiest paycheck ever. Here, just have some makeup and laugh
Oh,
in the background.
so it's like in Chappie where Hugh Jackman
Jackman
keeps coming in the back. One of particular favorites from our commentator that is where they just show Hugh Jackman's back. So I literally went to Dwebs, and there you go, Dwebs. Here's Hugh Jackman's back.
Oh yeah, that was the one where Dwibs got royally plastered for the first time in our commentaries.
L looks more like a wannabe gangster here. More
Okay,
than
I think I
anything else.
understand why he has his face covered up like that, just to make sure
Because he's
that
embarrassed to be in this movie.
and Kira, quote unquote, can't see his face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I never get: how does he know, or at least have a theory about that?
In great intuition. The L's attitude makes him get intuition of. He doesn't understand the mystical ideas of the Death Note until way later on in the series, but at first he has the intuition that the killer is killing people by knowing their faces and their names. So that's why he decided to. In the original manga anime, the first contact that kind of has with Kira is to send at the conference that you saw before actually a decoy, and having that say that it's Al, like a proper decoy, kind of like at the beginning of episode 2 of Star Wars. And Light predictably kills it because he doesn't know and falls into Al's trap, which confirms his suspicions.
So
Also,
Oh, go on.
One thing that hurts it, this being a one-off movie instead of a live-action series, is that we don't actually get to see L's methods properly.
Yeah.
You know, that does make me wonder. Why didn't they do the usual smart thing and make this, a Netflix series?
No idea.
No
Seriously.
idea either.
They
I
could have done it in like one or
I
two.
mean, even Castlevania got 4 episodes.
Like, I'm gonna be quite honest. If you're planning to make a film franchise, don't start with your film on Netflix. Like, seriously. If you're planning to try and continue a film franchise, sure, use Netflix. That's what the Child's Play series did with the Chucky movies, and they're actually successful now. But
Yeah, even
But starting a film franchise on Netflix,
even Cartman knew this when he planned out the Coon and Friends cinematic universe.
But
All the
unfortunately,
movies were
Netflix
theatrical, but and Netflix only got TV shows.
again, the main
Unfortunately, apparently Netflix turned them down because Professor Chaos was interfering.
That too, yeah.
See, it's a fundamental thing about Netflix. You don't exactly get direct profits, unlike with a film franchise shot in the theaters.
Oh my god, Teo, please tell me something's going to happen in the next 5 minutes.
Not in the next 5 minutes, but something definitely is gonna happen.
Oh
Oh, look at
god.
the bright side, Pedro. At least with Ghostbusters 2016, we'll have a lot more to actually not be bored out of our skulls by.
Yeah, no, I will not be bored, I'll just be sad.
But hey, Pedro, what about all those wonderful cameos?
Well,
Also, Ryuk, personal space,
I guess it's still less cameos than Casper 1995, but
I guess.
All right.
seriously, why Clint Eastwood? Why? Of all people, why Clint Eastwood?
Well, he was there for like 5 seconds.
I know, but why him in Casper? I don't understand. What's the logic?
Easiest paychecks in his entire life career.
Don't you see, Pedro? It's an ancient secret. Expose kids to the adult stuff, and then when they become adults, they'll want to actually see him because they'll know about him because it helps keep him relevant somehow. In a sad way, but god dang it, it works.
Speaking of
You know what I
cameos,
wanna know?
oh, go ahead.
Oh.
No, go ahead, Shiro. Go ahead.
Why hasn't Ryuk just fucked off yet? Because, I mean, for those of us who have seen the original anime, Ryuk basically wanted to have a bit of fun, so he dropped the Death Note, basically in the hopes that somebody amusing, like that he found amusing, would pick it up and use it. But this light doesn't really do anything. Ryuk's just here the entire time, like prompting him to do everything, whereas in the original anime, he kind of just sat back and let Light do his thing, and he really enjoyed observing Light. But like this Light here, it's that he's not doing anything unless prompted.
So that reminds me, wasn't there like an important character who had amnesia or something in the Death Note series?
That is
forget.
complicated.
Wasn't it someone who?
It's a heart attack. I think.
If I recall correctly, it was someone who was originally an angel but forgot they were an angel, and that had something to do with the Death Note.
It's to do with Misa, I believe.
Shiro, let me respond to you in bad anime adaptationese. The Kamehameha heals. There you go. Which reminds me, speaking of cameos, guess what, Shiro? Technically, because of his cameos in the Marvel movies, Stan Lee is officially the highest grossing actor of all time.
Amazing.
Alright. Oh boy, here we go.
What the Did M. Night Shyamalan take over? I don't...
Adam, now's not the time to show off.
What are we doing?
Mass suicide, Jova.
Oh, good. Is something actually going to happen?
Speak funny you mention that, Pedro, because we're pulling the happening.
Oh, there you go.
What? No.
I don't know, Jova. It doesn't look nearly as funny. I don't know.
Why are they romanticizing suicide now?
It's like I
I-
love how
Adam.
they do that.
Shiroi, have you never seen Suicide Girls?
No.
Is that like a feminist
me know.
revision of Suicide Squad or something?
Remind me of that one of the next days.
Okay.
Not, Adam, don't try to be Shyamalan. There's only one Shyamalan. I'm not even sure it's possible to even mimic Shyamalan's style. Go ahead, Ibs.
Are there this many rules in the show?
No, if I recall correctly, there are like 10.
Oh my god. Shiroi,
Yes.
I just realized.
What?
The live action Sonic movie. This is how Sonic is gonna look like.
Oh God.
Pedro, are you trying to give Shiroi nightmares?
Well, I've already seen what Sonic looks like in that fan movie. So
Well,
Yes.
that was a fan movie.
That reminds me, unfortunately, we have to redo that commentary at some point.
and Sonic Prologue would be nice because that was actually
Yeah, I love that one, yeah.
Oh my god. You know what I've just realized, guys?
That we're watching a shitty movie?
No, I mean, aside from that. Willem Dafoe here. He kind of looks like the Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2 with that hairdo and the spikes, doesn't he?
Also, what the fuck?
I was gonna say this with the spikes, he could be like a weird Sonic or something.
I don't know. I don't know, honey. Nobody's actually doing anything in this anime, so how am I supposed to know?
Cold-blooded murder of a dozen FBI agents should lay bare his true nature.
It is the true nature.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. They think that Kira murdered those FBI agents who literally jumped off on their own?
Sure, why not?
Like, okay. Look, we know that Kira technically did it, but what gives them the inkling? Like, seriously, what gives them the idea that one man managed to push 3 trained FBI agents off a rooftop?
See, again, because this is a movie and not a series, you don't get the time for them to actually establish all this.
Oh, let me guess. This is adapted off of the point where they started realizing that something supernatural is going on?
Are you out of your mind? Is my fucking dad?
I don't know.
To kill him on live television. You really think people are going to be on their knees if you can talk to Kira like that?
We're not killing my dad. Mia, this is over. You fucked us. We're not the good guys anymore.
You were never.
You know, okay. I'm gonna have to admit, even I remember from the original source material that Light was full on board with all the madness.
Yeah, he never cared about being called like a good guy or whatever. He would just say, no, I'm God, and now I dictate the rules.
He
Yeah.
basically believed in his own philosophy, and that was all he needed.
Okay, yep. This definitely should have been called Death Note: The Next Generation.
Space, the final frontier.
Yeah, seriously, that guy looks like Malcolm. Come on. I'm surprised Doug never did a clipless review of this.
Maybe someday he will.
Also, you don't reference Full Metal Alchemist with that. Fuck off.
From what I understand, Teo, his brother Rob is actually a fan of Death Note, so maybe he himself would suggest to Doug.
Probably.
Wait. You're going to, like, butcher source material, but then reference another anime in the process.
Whoa!
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. I think
It's even from a different company.
Wait.
Like,
Sure. It's like how in Dragon Ball Evolution they even have airbending.
Are they like?
Who made?
If you please.
What company did Full Metal Alchemist?
the manga, you mean?
Yeah.
Square Enix. Believe it or not, Square Enix has a manga division, and Full Metal Alchemist is like one of the flagship.
That's
titles
actually a
they
good
had.
question. Why the hell don't we still have a Square Enix Full Metal Alchemist RPG?
There were some video games for the PS2, but I don't know how they were actually.
Were they
I need to
RPGs at
finish,
least?
watching Brotherhood.
No, I think they were like beat 'em up, so I'm gonna check.
Nothing's gonna change it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Pedro. This is
Wake me up inside.
I wish something could fucking wake me up from this boredom.
And we're only like halfway through this bullshit.
I can't.
No, it's not even just that, Teo. I'm not even mad. This is just boring.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
No, but no,
that's
you're
nice.
you're right. It is just boring.
Yeah. It's not even worth getting mad about, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
said
talking-
it earlier,
talking to
I
each
mean,
other
at this
now.
point-
All
I
right,
said
let's
it-
see what this.
I said it earlier, at this point I was just checking the progress bar all the time and just waiting for this to end.
I wonder if it was a difficult decision.
And then Deji told me to stop watching crap, so...
Remember, Shiro, Deji sometimes is the voice of reason.
yeah.
To do it. Well, I admit, I always wondered if you had a line. I guess fortunately for us, the line you finally decided to draw points so clearly in your direction.
Hey, you actually remind me of Elle from the original. Now, if only if we'd had the proper build-up to get to this scene.
Yeah, you know what?
Like, seriously. We're finally having the face-to-face with the closest thing to a protagonist, because he's pretty messed up, to our antagonist, and yet it feels like it comes a bit out of nowhere here.
Can I ask you something?
No.
I wouldn't really say that Elle is an antagonist, more like...
No, sure. When I said antagonist, I was talking about Light.
Oh, okay.
L is essentially supposedly a lawful good character, but the problem is that due to his attitude and nature of his own, he comes
Chaotic
across
good.
as a giant, more like neutral, good.
Lawful neutral, I guess.
Lawful neutral, yeah, that's a good point.
You're suggesting the ability
This is just like... This isn't even the abomination that people say. This is just boring and stupid. It's kind of like
Agreed.
it's kind of like the Emoji Movie, where I went to see. I pirated that out of curiosity, just because I was curious. Honestly, again, it's a bad movie, but honestly, to me, it's just mostly boring. I didn't really. I don't even think it's even
the
worth
idea
getting that.
behind it that it's a bit more. Well, despite well, it's a bit different than in this case, but the idea is that for the Emoji Movie, that is so disrespectful of storytelling in media in general, because it thinks it can be like Wreck-It Ralph or something.
No, it's not just that. This is, to me, the Emoji Movie is basically just your generic bad animated film that you see stuff like DreamWorks when they make a bad movie or something from Illumination Entertainment or something. It's just your generic bad animated film. Honestly, it doesn't really.
For me, oh sorry.
To me, it's not even that terrible. It's just bad and boring. But go ahead, Joe.
To me, what makes the Emoji Movie terrible is several things, and one of them actually has to do with how one of the main lead actors tried to peer pressure people into actually liking that, where he said, well, it was apparently a joke about him killing himself. Not funny. But, yeah.
Oh, that's right. There's a conversation going on.
Too bad we don't really care.
Yeah.
All I've heard about the Emoji Movie is that it's just apparently a shit Inside Out.
Yeah.
Basically, Shiroi, it's a shit. It's a mix of shit Inside Out and shit Wreck-It Ralph. Basically, go ahead, Joe.
Oh.
See, the Emoji Movie, for me, at first seemed like your typical bad film, but then it tries to play moral high grounds. If you don't mind me spoiling...
No, go ahead. Nobody cares.
No, please go ahead.
Okay, so one of the characters used to be a princess, but decided she didn't want to be a princess, because being a princess automatically means a bad thing.
But as you see, Jova, we have to appeal to the feminists and shit.
See, here's the problem, though. Feminism is one thing, but this got to the point where it's literally shaming any little girl who wants to even so much as pretend to be a princess. Like, you can't have high dreams. No, you have to be all butch and everything. Never mention the fact, the hypocrisy that she uses her princess abilities to save the freaking day. Oh yeah. And by the way, the main villain just happens to be a strong, independent female too, who wants everything to stay the same because princess this or that. Like,
Emojis have to do with princesses.
Should we get back to the movie?
Yeah. Oh, plenty to talk about when we get to commentating on that.
Also, really, this guy needs a eye mask to sleep.
Okay, what is up with this guy? Like...
He was like L's, not mentor, but like guard or something.
Let's see, I don't recall him being this eccentric.
Ah!
Dwibs is awake?
I'm so Willem Dafoe woke me up.
Wake me up inside, can't wake up.
So wait, is he actually planning?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is Light actually planning to kill L right now?
Yeah, already.
Light, you really believe the guy's name is L? You really believe the guy's name is L?
Not just that. I mean, now another thing was that the conflict between Light and L in the original was that Light wanted to get rid of L as soon as possible. Not necessarily by killing, just he wanted to have it off his tail before it became personal. But at the same time, he needed the suspect to be away from him. So he needed to act in ways that he will not be recognizable. The whole potato chip meme comes from the fact that he's hiding his actions while being spied by L's hidden cameras.
I'll never forget that.
Also, that scene...
and eat it!
Well, I mean, it is funny, but it's actually quite dark in hindsight if you pick apart and and realize what he's actually saying. So
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Also, Dwebs, here's a little in joke that I'm sure you'll get. So basically, that's what we have to do is when we watch this movie, we have to consistently play in our MP3 player, "Wake up! Wake up!"
No, Dweebs. It's like what they shown in the Motobug stream the other day. That Doctor Who clip of the guys that constantly press the button. Pay.
And you know what's sad, Dwebs? And you know what's sad, Dwebs? I actually kind of like Rage Against the Machine. I love their Degeneration X theme, but that song was just crap.
Well, Rage Against the Machine once had a Christmas #1 here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly are they doing now?
Probably, I forgot actually.
Elle's having a nice nap.
I'm glad. I'm glad someone is.
But yeah, getting the noisy duo on this was such a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Who's the nosy duo?
The
Atticus Ross and someone else.
Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Basically, Joe, but they're musicians. Well, Trent Reznor is at least. Trent Reznor is from Nine Inch Nails, and he decided to suddenly become a film composer. And as you can see, he's not good at it at all.
Well, actually, Trent Reznor didn't do the music here. It's his other guy.
Whatever. Both of them are completely interchangeable Dwibs. So. Attica. Let me put it in this way. One of my favorite jokes in South Park is when it's Rosie O'Donnell and a big pile of goo, and they're like, well, "It's like I'm seeing double." That's basically how I am about those two. It's like I'm seeing double.
By Page, if it's any consolation to you, Atticus Ross didn't do the music for the sequel to The Journey.
Yay!
So is there
Junkie XL did.
Well, I like Junkie XL, so.
So did I miss something? Did I miss the scene where Elle establishes why he's taking that particular interest in light?
Gee, Jova, it almost makes it sound like that the movie was rushed as fuck and the pacing resents from that.
Like, okay, going back to what I said about the face-off, not only was that out of place, but the fact that L actually reveals his face to Light for no given reason, like, seriously, that feels like something L would have done when he was absolutely certain that Light was the killer. But, nope, he's doing it earlier, and now he's taking an interest to him. Like, really?
One thing I really liked about the anime in particular, I mean, remember what I said earlier about Ryuk in the original anime finding Light very interesting? That's kind of the reason why Light didn't really want to kill L in the first place, because, well, Light found L amusing and L finds Light amusing. I love the dynamic between the two of them. But here, it's,
Theo, I've just come to a shocking epiphany.
That this movie is boring.
The Death Note movie was a mistake.
It's all about trash.
Also, like, this movie leaves no room for shipping jokes at all.
Yeah, at all.
Like,
one of the main gags that people tend to have with the original was shipping actually Light with L.
Yeah, they are so shippable for a lot of reasons.
Don't worry.
Joe, it's the Fourier situation.
Don't worry.
I know, trust me, I know. I'm a part of the Ace Attorney fan base, of course I'm familiar with the full Yay ship.
Don't worry, Shiroi. Fracture Butthole will give you plenty of those.
Okay.
When does South Park not give you the faux Yay ship?
Basic Webs, there's a running gag that started in season 19 where two characters will suddenly become a gay couple, and Train Matt used that as a way to parody yaoi art.
Oh, that.
I remember
I thought you were talking about faux Yay.
Oh, trust me, Shiroi, wait till you see the Tweaking Craig's ultimate attack in that game.
Oh, God.
I might show you after this, so we have something to laugh at.
Sure.
Also, hold on. Montauk. What the fuck is that?
You know what? I take it back. I take it back.
The beginning of Shadow Warrior.
No.
Wish I was playing it.
I take it back. At least Casper is not boring.
Agreed. And it feels
It's
faster.
it's not terrible. It's just misguided.
It is just you can feel every
this
single
movie?
second.
No. The 1995 live action Casper movie. It's not terrible. It's just misguided, horribly misguided.
Were you a fan of the original source material?
Yes. And don't get me wrong. There are some good things in it. Like for example, the scene where Casper is telling Kat how he died. That's a really good, heartfelt scene, and that's good. Now make the whole movie like that, please, instead of stupid cameos and shitty puns.
Also, and random swear words for no reason, and also wasting Eric Idle. Why the fuck would you do that?
Yes,
It's a crime
thank
against humanity.
That's a crime against humanity. Yeah.
So would you say that Secret of Nim 2 used Derek Idle better than
Yes.
Casper?
Yes. I'm gonna go say yes.
Also, oopsie daisy. Apparently, someone stole the Death Note.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Hey, look,
Oh,
it's
I
hey, look, Dwibs, it's Professor Light.
Again, everyone here is a moron.
Dun, 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 dun.
What the fuck are you even doing?
No, Dwibs, we have to. No, this is considering this is a shitty Professor Light. We have to play the Professor Vacant
we're doing
theme.
this.
The mansion?
No, this is supposedly this is the place where L was raised. There's a problem in the original source material. The orphanage is still active, and when L eventually dies, they send a replacement from the same orphanage,
Spoilers.
which was essential. Well, I already did that before, Dweebs, at this point. Besides, I mean, whatever. The point is, the orphanage is still active, and we send a person that was very similar to L because it was very close to him. Not Mello, the other guy. Whatever. The point is, the reason it's abandoned is just to make the white hair kid.
Yeah, Nia. Yeah, his
Nia.
name is Nia. Yeah.
I wish I was playing near.
I wish I was playing Near Automata.
Yeah.
Also, look, Reeves, Illuminati confirmed.
Whoa.
Wait,
Are we in the
the Triforce?
or something?
The Triforce.
Well, remember, Shiroi, the Triforce is proof that Zelda is Illuminati propaganda.
Of course.
Yeah. So we've gone from the Shrieking Shack to the Chamber of Secrets.
Of course.
Well, to be fair, it's still more plausible than the Virgin Christian talking about how the mirrors are a symbol of the occult. The mirrors.
Also, welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, we're seriously doing that.
Reminder also that Warner Bros. Was supposed to make the movie, but now it's in the hands of Blown Camp Production.
Which is funny because Warner Brothers was supposed to do this movie.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
why I
realize
mentioned.
that was still happening.
It's still Shirei. The thing is, it was supposed to come out earlier, but due to the meddling with Warner Bros. And now be reconnected to Blomkamp Production, they shifted development. I think it's dated for next year.
That is one movie I will see.
What movie?
No Markiplier protagonist, no buy.
What movie are you on about?
FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ah, okay. Well, considering Five Nights at Freddy's has kind of dropped off the map in recent years.
It's just
People
Scott's
don't- yeah.
decision to... Scott decided just to stop.
Oh, isn't that cute? Those crazy kids on
You
their
know I've got a
prom
book,
night.
right? FNAF.
Two actually.
2.
Yeah, they came out only recently. I think it was called... no, the first one was The Silver Eyes, but they came out another one recently.
Okay.
So, why was that guy searching the orphanage? What, the two kids hired that guy to find information on Elle or something?
Okay, Teo, I have reached a new low. Teo, I have reached a new low. No, I don't mean in this movie, Jira. I mean a new low in my life.
Oh,
You know what I'm doing right now, Teo, to keep myself awake.
You're playing no track.
No, I'm grinding for trophies in Fairfence, Seraph, and Dark Force. I've reached a new low. I'm literally using this game to stave off boredom now.
Well, Pedro, it's like what Merlin said in Sword in the Stone. When you reach this low, the only thing you can do is get up.
Anyway, it's but yeah, oh, shoot. So,
And I got
Pedro,
Avalanche Master Trophy, yay.
I could be getting trophies in Mania right now, but no.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you have your PS4 now?
Shiori, remember, this is your pick. You're getting no sympathy from me.
Or do you mean
Yeah.
Steam
But,
achievements?
you can get Steam achievements. They're the same
Yeah.
achievements.
No, I'm aware of that. It's just that, trophies implies PlayStation.
You were asking,
Oh,
Joe.
okay, never mind.
Anyway, as I was asking, yeah, so what, did Light and Mia, like, hire the guy who's searching through Elle's orphanage? or
I don't know,
something?
and quite frankly, I
No.
don't care. Basically, Shiroi, Xbox and Steam is achievements, and PlayStation as trophies. It's the same thing, different name.
Supposedly Nintendo is trying to do something as well on the Switch, but we don't know yet.
If they wanted to do it, they would have done it at launch, honestly. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, PS3 didn't do that launch.
True, but that was because, Xbox achievements became, like, really popular back then, whereas Nintendo,
True.
if Nintendo wanted to get in on that bandwagon, they would have done it by this point.
Yeah,
True,
but remember,
I guess.
Nintendo are a little slow on
Doesn't the
progress.
Nintendo
L2.
Switch console...
Oh no, the
Oh.
SWAT team.
It's interesting you say that, Shiroi, because back when Iwata was still alive, he actually specifically said in an interview that he didn't...
Oh, snap.
He said in an
Sorry,
interview
you were
that
saying- you were saying?
he said in
Go
an
ahead,
interview
Pedro.
that he didn't like the whole concept of trophies and achievements, which is why the Wii U didn't have that. So
Is Atari a character in the show?
Whatever.
Don't think so.
This is so boring and
Hold on. But yeah, seriously, who was that guy? Like,
Atari, is he a character in the show?
I don't think so.
whoever he is,
The only-
Jova, he is
the
one
only
boring
memorable character,
motherfucker.
which I don't even think he's in the movie, is Matsuda.
oh, good, he did the Green Goblin laugh.
Yeah, again, William, are you actually going to do something in this fucking movie?
No, he's just
I know
gonna
it-
do his evil laugh because that's what he does
know what?
best, I
Take my
guess.
breath away!
I think you don't like this song, Reeves.
No,
Dibs?
it's an alright song. What the hell is it doing here?
Don't you get it, Dwibs? He takes their breath away when he kills
It's
them.
it's like that episode of Doctor Who when they just go full Rickroll.
Subtle!
Yeah, what the hell, Mia? Oh, wait, is she trying to instigate him to kill the boy?
Yeah.
Get out of here! You're not a real Professor Layton
Can I borrow your
cosplayer.
hat? Thank you. Yeah. The cosplay sucks.
Yeah.
I know you're
Is this how homecoming proms are nowadays? People just steal their partners outright.
Oh, you should see Spider-Man's homecoming party. That was a doozy.
You know, in the anime,
wish I was watching Spider-Man
Lisa has
Homecoming.
a song, and it's pretty fucking unsettling.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Have you
Yeah.
heard that the Blu-ray? Have you heard that the upcoming Blu-ray of Spider-Man Homecoming has like 40 to 60 minutes of new footage added? I think.
Wait, it
Ooh.
does?
Really? This long?
I saw some commercial for it mention that there's a whole bunch.
Are you
of
sure? Are you sure they didn't mention 60 minutes of special features? Because usually those commercials say stuff like those.
It definitely said
was 60
X
minutes
amount of new footage. So who knows? Maybe it was a misprinting on the commercial.
Write the names of all the
I mean, 60 minutes seems to be a bit too much. But so
Oh, ow!
whatever. I'll watch 3 hours of Spider-Man Homecoming over this shit.
Agreed.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't mind more from Spider-Man Homecoming. Not to say that the movie wasn't good with what it was, but hey, more of that, please.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the greatest weapons that a soldier can have: patience.
Oh, of course. Now she's gonna kill him.
What?
She wrote in the note that he's gonna die at midnight.
Oh, not just that, Libs. Prepare, because of all the things they wanted to keep from the original, they decided to pick one that will be sure to be doomed from the start in a product like this.
Also, this is the moment where they well and truly stop pulling shit out of their ass when it comes
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I could clearly see air trails of saliva between her teeth. So that's gross. Please make another take.
Like, seriously, having Misa just try and kill Light now?
Also, L, really? The greatest detective in the world, everyone.
What's funny is that the creators are definitely actually kind of applauded this movie for trying to do something different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not.
Their reasoning was, well, if it's just going to do the exact same thing the manga / anime did, then there's no
Wow,
point.
it's literally like with to give it this seems to be a recurring thing with manga writers of sorts, because the same thing happened with the original Full Metal Alchemist anime, where the creator actually stood in defense of that anime, saying and the same thing. An adaptation that is just the same thing as the manga is pointless. Basically, she also appreciated.
Well, honestly, though, even if for the sake of just seeing the panel emotions will be worth of that.
I can definitely see where they're coming from. I mean, yeah, I'll be quite honest. For as many problems as this film does have, I do feel like, this does feel
Besides, sorry, Jova. Go ahead.
Again, I will stand by that this movie feels like something that could have worked if it were a different cast of characters, honestly. Because, yeah. Ignoring that, it can get boring here and there. At the very least, it's a well-sustained enough world that I at least get the rules of. My main complaint is just that they don't seem to be doing much with it. Other than that, this movie is harmless.
What's with the 80s music in this film?
Yeah. Besides, Pedro, the problem with the first run of the Full Metal Alchemist
No, I'm
was
aware.
a completely different beast due to the manga thing.
I'm aware. It's just
Also,
that the point I was trying to make there is that apparently manga writers don't really seem to care, unless of course if you're Naoko Takashi.
Pedro, as long as we get money from it, I guess.
No, trust me, Teo. Naoko Takauchi is not like that at all. Shiro, tell him.
Not to detract anything from Hiromu Arakawa, I think it's one of the best mangakas that have blessed the industry because she's very funny.
Rumiko Takahashi. A name we're all familiar with in the trolling department, the shipping department, and of course the trolling with shipping department. And let us not forget Tsundere.
Anyway, Shiro, you want to tell him about Naoko Takauchi, or should I?
Well, like I just said, bitch be crazy.
Who is she?
The creator of Sailor Moon. Basically, Naoko Takauchi is basically the equivalent of a spoiled brat who takes all her toys. The moment someone even says a no to her, she immediately picks up all her toys and goes back home and stuff like that. To give you an idea, Teo, she apparently didn't like any dub of the original Sailor Moon anime. Anything outside of Japan, she hated this. So she actually forbid the dubs from the anime from airing anywhere outside of Japan for a few years.
That was infamous.
Yeah, and
she's also thrown a hissy fit recently about one of the translations for Crystal, I believe you said.
Yes, but at the same time, to give it, and the reason Sailor Moon Crystal was made is because it was basically to keep her shut. Okay, here's an adaptation. It's literally just the manga put on screen, so you can shut the fuck up.
So, okay, going back to this movie, sure, remind me. In context, when did Mia actually try to kill Light in the original?
Never. He only tries to frame him at worst, and Light actually comes with a very brilliant plan to avoid that, which leads to the other famous meme, just as planned. Here is just L becomes a psychopath who wants to kill directly Light because he suspects he's Kira.
Wait, hold on.
Also, he has a futuristic pistol for some reason.
Basically, L kills when he feels like it's necessary, like the decoy in the beginning.
But here he's just decided, yeah, this kid's definitely Kira.
With that particular decoy is that he was this happens in the first or second episode or something, so it's very early on.
Yeah.
But the guy who was used as a decoy, he was on death row anyway.
So essentially, L had a plan for everyone and everything.
Yeah.
So
also, Pedro, this is like that scene in Heavy Rain where the guy throws everything in the market.
I don't know, Heavy Rain wasn't this boring.
And also, he had more chickens.
So from what I can gather, they're doing this thing where I guess Mia's mad at Light for... I don't think he even rejected her. Why did she write his name in this?
Just wait, Drova, for what we're doing.
Let me guess. It's a fake out, isn't it?
Speaking
You
of
have no idea, Drova.
speaking of Heavy Rain, please tell me that L is gonna tell Light to fuck himself in the ass.
I wish.
Unfortunately not.
What is this, a chase scene now?
Well,
Pretty much.
I think
It's the
kinda chase scene.
believe it or not, it's actually the climax of the movie.
The film decided. The Adam suddenly remembered. Oh yeah, that's right. Things are supposed to happen in movies.
Wait, you need to understand how it works.
Please understand.
You can't stop it. I couldn't stop
Also, to answer your question from before, Pedro, there were actually 5 Full Metal Alchemist video games. 2 of them were never localized, and 1 of them only got in America, outside of Japan. And out of these, only a couple of them, like 2 or 3, are actual RPGs.
Wait. What?
The others are beat 'em ups. Also, yeah, what the fuck?
What?
Why
Yeah,
did that guy
remember.
help?
No, because Kira is respected among people in the world, so
So that guy now knows who Kira is.
pretty much.
It goes back to the whole thing about a sequel setup earlier, because I haven't read the manga, but I think one of the aspects of the prologue was that he still has a cult following even after the events of the original story, which again holds a lot of potential for someone else to take his place and be a
pretty
different
much.
character. They should have done that here.
IBM.
Hey, girl who apparently tried to kill me, come with me.
I wish I was watching instead the climax of Blues Brothers.
Okay, seriously, again, did
Which
I
one?
miss a scene or
The original, obviously.
Again, did I miss a
It
scene or
had
something?
everything: Nazis, SWAT teams, everything. Hot, 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 hot.
Oh, yeah.
Jova, you've been here the whole time. You haven't missed a thing.
No, why does he trust her all of a sudden? Like,
Why
is
do
he
you
thinking
throw the
everything?
gun?
Why do you do anything that you've done in this movie?
Also, the music is telling you to be emotionally tense.
It's already done.
Are they seriously treating this like a romantic scene with this music?
No.
It feels like it. Like
Also,
we're supposed
that
to
line.
be.
I don't want to run away.
Seriously, what is with the romantic music for this? What is with the romantic music here?
Because Atticus Ross, I don't know.
It looks like a slow, boring version of Adagio in D minor, which is overused as fuck in media.
Also, there's no way you can escape this. You're so caught as soon as you go around the loop.
Ooh, what you say?
Seriously,
Who names their kid Light and Yoink?
oh.
Hi, Ryuk.
So,
You're actually going to do something.
what's his dad's name?
Dad.
No, here's the thing. Here's what they adapted from the original. The fact that Light is a master planner. That he calculated everything from the very beginning.
Because that's totally believable here, isn't it?
So basically, she was bluffing and he knew it.
Pretty much. Essentially, at the end of this convoluted chase and everything, he will win, and the people who are antagonizing him essentially will not either die or just stop chasing him. At least that's what his plan is counting on.
So, Mia didn't die in the anime, I'm pretty sure.
It's not stated officially, but it's very implied she commits suicide after the end of it.
Basically, though, she was like one of the last people left alive of the main cast.
Pretty much.
So, they're killing her here?
Because.
And
Again, I mean, it's hinted at in one of the episodes. I mentioned a song earlier. But in the credits, you see some footage as the credits are rolling in the final episode, and yeah, like Tio said, it is heavily implied that she committed suicide.
also...
For her,
sorry, go on.
her situation was, like, she lived for Light.
Yeah.
She outweighed, well, she lost her, she lost what she felt was her usefulness, so Yep.
Yeah.
What's with this music? Now we got I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love.
Wait, why is he trying to save her?
They might as well just stick My Heart Will Go On in here and just have that be the end of it.
This movie's like a compilation. It's like an 80s movie AMV of an anime.
And there goes the Death Note. Okay,
Whatever.
okay,
I'm just
question?
beyond caring at this point.
It's almost over, Pedro. Don't
question, Shiroi, to you. Why is it that the same guy who wrote his girlfriend's name in the Death Note is now acting all sad that...
Because it's clearly the ending and no one is caring anymore in this movie. And
They're
no,
trying
I
to
thought
force
I
you to
would.
care.
Oh my god, is he about to die?
Okay, you see, Tail, this is how I felt. No,
Oh!
She
what
did
the
it.
hell? I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. The Book of Henry was more batshit insane.
Well, at least it had a better pacing, I have to admit that.
Of course he
So
fell
now
into
we're
the
in
water.
the Kingdom Hearts opening.
Hey, wait a minute. How,
And then
wait.
we're gonna play Sanctuary now.
Hey, wait a minute. How did he fall into the water before the book did? The book fell before he did. The way physics works is that
Pedro,
everything falls at the
he's
same...
not really. He has more weight, therefore he falls faster.
Yeah. But remember, though, the way that physics would work with that is that, intentionally with gravity...
Depends
gravity
also
still
on the
has,
attrition and everything. I don't wanna... See, Joe, are you seriously wanting me to start calculating physics at the end of this fucking movie?
Well, anything to save this, I guess. So, what, is that it? That's the end? The book is...
That page.
No, here's the rule bet to be turned out for the movie. If the pages where the people dies for like the heart attack gets burned, the person doesn't die.
Oh, and because she wrote his...
And remember, this was all his plan.
Wait, so he planned
He
this?
calculated the fact that page would have burned out at the very end.
Which is bullshit.
You know, Light's plans in the original could be pretty convoluted, but this is taking it too
No,
far.
they were convoluted, but in the end, when I actually started managing looking at bit by bit, they made so much sense that I'm amazed that Obata managed to accomplish such a thing. Here, God may bless my soul, but God, Jesus, damn it. And yes, Al is gonna get arrested for this.
What did he do that was wrong? I mean, okay. I could see him at worst maybe getting a slap on the wrist for chasing the kid, but yeah, the Ferris wheel stuff, I don't think that was his fault.
Kira saves. Saves what? Money?
There he is.
Also,
Kira
Jova,
saved
you
money at
were-
Lloyd's Bank.
And here we go.
Jova, you were asking if he dies, right?
Who, Light?
Yes.
Well,
Well,
I'm pretty sure
first,
he's gonna pull
first
through, I
one of
guess,
his
but go on.
followers managed to get him back the Death Note.
Also, this ending is a little weird.
I swear to God, if they end this by killing L off this early, then...
All right, how to get Air Master Trophy? Wait. Did you say something?
No. Please continue.
Okay.
Wait,
Was there a calculus book seized at Light Yaga?
a calculus book?
Did he even take calculus? Okay, what about his girlfriend?
Can we not have that kind of close up on the eyes?
That's what. Just.
What's even happening in this film anymore?
Well,
Yeah.
it's
They
at
were
the end.
ri-
We're
well-
basically at the end.
Wow, they
Don't
were really...
don't read that book if it makes you like that. Go read 50 Shades of Grey. That's hilarious.
But only the audiobook version made by Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes, I'm still angry that that's not a natural thing.
I
Can
presume
we,
to
have a
see the three little
Kickstarter? Can we have a
pigs.
Kickstarter for that?
Yes.
Please?
Oh god,
Please.
yes.
Wow, they were really banking on a sequel with this ending.
Not just that, they wanted to push that relationship with Mia, which is non-existent.
Why even push it when you're just gonna kill her off in the first?
Because romance,
Daddy.
Jova.
They didn't even really push the relationship in the original. If anything, it was one of the most toxic things you'll ever see.
One of my personal
Which
pet
was
peeves
the
in
point of it.
One of my personal pet peeves in Hollywood is how they really tend to do these forced romances that don't really add anything and have like that's the one problem I have with the How to Train Your Dragon movies is that there's no real reason for the romance between Hiccup and Astrid. It's just there, like it's just there.
To be fair,
Because we need to do the checklist thing.
Yeah,
to
I
be
guess.
fair, Hollywood is far from the only people who does the forced romance. Like I have seen forced romances in everywhere, be it Western animation, anime, you
Sure.
name it.
Whatever. The point is, I don't like it.
Agreed.
I don't like it. Page 2016.
17.
17.
Also, yeah, apparently his father found out.
Oh crap! This is another combo trophy. Fucking. Ugh. One more hour of doing the same battle over and over.
And more 80s music.
Yeah, the 80s music feels so out of place here.
Again, this is like a bloody AMV.
No, this is like 80s Hollywood.
I wish I was watching Kung Fury.
Okay.
80s
Oh,
Hollywood.
God.
It's funny because Hollywood started in the 90s.
Well, I'm talking about the random, like, popular music from the time.
Bloodland is present at the pier when two individuals fall from the northwest Ferris wheel.
Mm-hmm.
He rescues the suspect from the water and manages to revive him, saving his life.
So he has to specifically know the name of the person who will rescue him as well. I thought the Death Note was just specific about who killed you, not who rescues you.
For 2 days. At the
Again.
The directing.
Stop.
So,
no, please.
So let me guess. So as long as you include someone's death, you can essentially control what that person does up until
Yeah,
they're dead?
that's actually a
Start
rule in
dating.
the original material. Although it's not as overpowered as this one, you can make them do simple actions, but not too complex stuff.
Mhm. It needs to, well, like Tio said in the beginning, it needs to be reasonable.
Yeah, but again, the heart attack is the fail-safe mechanism in case it doesn't work. And now L essentially is busting the. Oh yeah, give me a second.
Where's the script? I need to make sense of this.
Has it been established that he even knows about the Death Note? Like, when has he directly seen that book?
I don't even know, Jova. This movie is such a mess.
Oh no, she's about to die a Disney death.
Although her boyfriend lands safely in the
You know, Pedro, considering you're Portuguese and everything, I know it's partially. You know what movie I would rather watching this? Although it's not bad, it's just the association that I did. The Three Caballeros.
Actually, Teo, Zaccarioca is Brazilian, not Portuguese.
I know, but closest thing, I guess.
Okay.
We could watch. We could do.
No,
We could do a Generations of crap movie.
Anyway. So basically, they're doing the whole "what a twist" moment by basically showing us that, hey, these people died because he did it like this and this and that.
yeah,
Oh,
again, it was all according to plan, except that in source material it works way better.
Also, Al would never have done this.
Also,
Yeah.
here's another problem with this. It's like, it's not really so much a twist because essentially that book can do almost anything according to this. Like, well, it sounds like he literally made everything destiny thanks to that.
I got the feeling the actor realized that his career is gonna be dead because of this.
And now L is gonna kill Light with the missing page of the Death Note.
Wait. What?
Remember, I said this this ending is a little weird. Like, just wait till
Okay.
it's over and you'll see what I mean.
Also,
If you remember before, there was a missing page from the Death Note.
Yeah,
I know that, it's just this
No, I
ending
was into
is-
Jova.
Oh, okay.
also too, what you
So
just
this line is overdue.
Also,
Let's hear
Ryuk.
This line right here is
Okay, let's
way
hear it.
overdue.
well Find a better agent.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Hold on, wait. Sure. I thought you said he was about to kill Light. What the heck?
That's why I'm saying it's a bit open-ended like that. That's
Is
why I
there
said
an
it's
after
weird.
credit scene?
Nope, that's it.
Nick Fury will not ask any one of them to join the Avengers because he himself wanted to stay away from this piece of garbage.
Not just that,
What
but
the
Theo.
heck?
Theo, what you just did to me earlier was a microaggression, so I'm gonna have to punch you for it.
I understand. It's like saying that a person from Boston is Italian.
So,
Final.
that
It's-
was it.
No, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull a Theo here. I'm going to mimic his reaction to the Bocaveri. This movie is not even
It's
worth.
unintentional, yeah.
This movie is not even worth my final thoughts. So I'm going to abstain I'm just gonna let my silence speak for itself.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Wait, hold on.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Oh, that's cool. We're getting scenes of the making of process from this film.
Fuck.
What?
Yeah, we're literally seeing, I guess, bloopers and like special effects behind the scenes.
I have pretty much said anything about this movie during it, but ultimately it's like just like what Shiri said. We should have been a next generation thing. And also, you completely wasted William Dafoe and the character of Ryuk. Fucking amazing.
Wait. Willem Dafoe was in this movie?
He was real.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Fuck this
I
movie.
haven't seen. Wow, you've actually wasted Willem Dafoe more than David Cage did. That's an accomplishment.
To quote Jeremy Jensen, I'm gonna forget this movie in T minus minute. Yep, already forgot.
Yep, delete.
Okay, so I'm supposed to put Ollie Hedge on Tiara. Okay.
Alright, so,
Oh, like, speaking of that, Dwibs, we didn't get that crazy guy in this either.
Shame. Anyway,
so is that all for your final thoughts, Theo?
Pretty much. Fuck this movie.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. And
can I go next?
if you want to, okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay, other than Willem Dafoe and the weird use of 1980s music, this wasn't really exciting to watch. Okay, there is one other. His reaction to when he first sees Willem Dafoe, that's hilarious. And to be fair, I think most people would have that kind of reaction. So if this movie was going for realism, it at least had that one scene in its favor. But other than that, it's not. It's disappointing more so. I thought it'd be hilarious, and it was on occasion. But that's the problem. It was on occasion. For the rest of it, it was just kind of dull. And I was more interested in doing the thumbnail for this commentary than watching the movie.
And like I said, actually, that's a good thing you brought up, Dwibs. Are you done?
Yes, I just put it up actually.
Actually, you brought up a good point. I have one final thought to say. This movie is so boring that in order to keep myself awake, I'm grinding for trophies in Ferry the Fencer Fuckaroni. That's how bad this movie is.
So, Pedro, have you seen you found a bigger fish than Fairy Fencer?
Don't worry, Jova. I'm on the hunt for one. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting shitty anime games.
Alright, I'm done.
So,
Next.
Jova, did you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I mean, this movie was by no means as bad as people led me to believe it was. I mean, okay.
It is bad, but...
Okay. To put this movie in, special terms, think about it like, a competitor in a 400-meter race. It's like, okay, the first person starts off sprinting. The problem is that by doing that, he tires himself out. That's what this movie feels like. Like, okay, the first section of this movie actually does feel interesting and actually gave me a few laughs. I mean, yeah, obviously it wasn't supposed to make me laugh, but again, it felt like it was at least sticking true to its own alternate continuity for the most part. I even got a kick out of the characters here and there, and Willem Dafoe had a nice entry. And, the deaths were interesting, the roles were kept, and then it just goes. I don't even know where it goes. Like, it just
goes nowhere.
It
Are we
goes.
there yet? Are we there yet?
There was even a direction to go.
Like, I mean, seriously, it's like, at first I'm interested, then it starts to get boring, and then it starts to get stupid. Like, okay, when Elster's introduced, he's cool and everything. He seems like the super sleuth. then come the parts where I feel like, wait, did I miss a scene or something? Because literally, we come to points that literally have no foundation upon them. Why is L all of a sudden meeting Light? Why is L revealing his face to Light? How does L know about the Death Note? Where's the supposedly super smart stuff? And my God, my goodness, Mia, my God. Okay, she starts off fine, but then all of a sudden they make her insane enough to want to kill Light. Like, where did that even come from? It's like you need to have some purpose, movie. Like, okay, yeah, it's established that she was kind of disturbed, but it was never hinted that she was that disturbed. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe that's a twist, but no, that's not a twist because, again, it comes out of nowhere with no foundation whatsoever. Like, hell, for as much as I will rag and rage about the twists in the crossover between Ace Attorney and Layton, they at least had some foundation on them. The
crossover was
rich.
Fun. Even when it was sucking, it was still fun to watch.
And also the crossover, remember to have the main characters actually to be respected for at least like 90% of it. The only thing they couldn't get was Maya, Spirit Channel, but everything else was put on. The problems were with the original characters. But taking away from the crossover, the metaphor that Jova did was essentially correct. Good.
It's like, again, the same thing is like, oh, I actually did want to like this. I was actually having a legit good time for the first section of it. But then, even those who will have fun with this new alternate continuity will be bored out of their skulls, and the ending just shoots itself in the head. Like, okay, seriously, the big twist that he somehow planned all of this is not a twist. He didn't plan all this. He wrote all of this happening. Like, seriously, it doesn't really take as much planning when he could literally just write stuff as long as he knew people's specific names. And yeah, again, how he came to that conclusion is beyond my guess. And his relationship with his father is weird. Like, seriously, one minute they seem all hunky-dory, son, father stuff. Then his father seems to be overprotective of his son from L, and now his father seems to realize that maybe L was right, so why the heck is L getting fired? Like, and yeah, why does L get fired? Like, okay, I get that, him chasing a kid.
And also he went full Psycho Beaver.
Yeah, but honestly, he's not to blame for the Ferris wheel stuff if that's what they're arresting him for. Like, that was all Light's fault for all we know. Actually, no one knows. That's another big problem. It's like, again, how do people even know about this Death Note stuff? Like, I'm pretty sure that you need some kind of research about that to have an idea that someone somehow is killing all these people without being there.
Well, it took a while for L to even figure that out.
And
in the anime, I mean.
And you know what? Okay, I get it. Maybe some people who died in the original don't die here. I'm fine with that stuff if it's earned. But it wasn't. Whew, it's like, okay, look, folks, I'm just going to say it like this. This feels like something that was meant to either be a much longer movie that had scenes cut out, or something that was meant to be a series and got hacked down into a movie. Because, it's weird. They really seem to want you to take stuff seriously, but it's like they blatantly forgot to include stuff. Oh, and my God, the music can be unfitting, especially the finale scene, which sounds like it's romantic between them, only he reveals that he kills her and the romantic music is still going.
Welcome to the Noisy Duo, Jova.
I have no idea who these guys are, but this is quite possibly one of the worst first impressions I've ever got about someone, and that's after seeing Last Airbender, the movie that actually gave me a cynical side.
I don't know, James Howard's score for that movie was at least somewhat...
No.
Wait a minute. Do you have a cynical side?
No. I was talking about first impressions in general, how Last Airbender was my first impression of M. Night Shyamalan.
Jova, whatever you do, if you didn't like the score here, you're going to loathe Social Work and Gone Girl and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Basically, this movie sprints fast in the beginning, but tires itself out horribly to the point where it's just a pathetic, breathing, crawling mess at the end that just crashes and burns in the most spectacular fashion. I mean, it's by no means like the worst thing ever, but they could have done immensely better.
It was just
boring. Yes, again, shame on you for wasting Willem Dafoe.
Again, you wasted more than David Cage did. I hope you're proud of yourself.
You made an accomplishment.
Like, seriously, if anything, have Ryuk do more insane stuff in this than in the original. You essentially have the Green Goblin there. Like,
And you wasted him.
Like, seriously,
More than David Cage's
One
Pedro
thing I like,
Porta.
he was involved, but he didn't really do a whole lot in the original. If anything, he was just along for the ride, like enjoying every second of it.
Like, going off of the mentality that, okay, he's more involved in this version, have him commentate on stuff more. Have him exposit, if anything, with the giggling laugh. Like, seriously, have him do more of that stuff. Like, Willem Dafoe is the only thing that stays consistently good in this movie, and he's barely in it.
Anyway, you're done, Jova?
Yeah, basically, yeah, look, I guess maybe if you're really curious, like, watch, like, the first 15 or 30 minutes of this, but be forewarned, beyond that is nothing but misery.
Oh, boredom.
He's-
rather. Oh,
Boredom
yes,
can be
yeah.
misery. Alright,
No,
then.
no, don't worry. Go ahead,
joy.
Shiro.
Well, I mean, going back to the whole thing of, well, no. Aside from the whole thing of this movie, never mind. This should have been a sequel, rather, because they basically did nothing. And because I watched this movie after marathoning the anime, everything was really fresh in my mind, and it honestly made me hate these versions of the characters even more, because like the characters in like they kind of fuck themselves over for the most part, but at least they're engaging and interesting and actually quite amusing considering the premise. But here, I mean, I'm basically looking at watered down versions of great characters for the most part, and I mean, aside from Willem Dafoe's voice, like, he's not a good Ryuk to me at all.
And even then, Sheriff, it's just a voice they could have literally picked anyone else and having him as the voice actor.
Yeah. They pull a lot of the rules out of their ass.
Yeah.
Or rather, they keep some, but they kind of bastardize them. Like, they kind of bastardize this series here. I don't really have much to say that hasn't already been said, because this movie was so boring and was such a drag. We're not really saying anything that's much different to what we've been saying throughout it, really. The only thing I will say is go ahead and watch a review by a channel called The Dom. They well, he covers a lot of book to screen adaptations. He did a great one for Death Note that basically pretty much, like, if you don't want to watch the movie, it basically sums up the criticisms for this movie and then some, as a person who had read the manga as well, and was actually the person who I first had suggested the idea that this should have been a sequel. So, like, just watch that instead of suffering through this.
Also, if you have a bit more patience and everything, yourmoviesucks.org actually has a video where he talks with one of his friends over a still image, and they describe what the movie was. Kind of like what me and Waves did, for example, for The Magnificent Seven. And it's very detailed, but it's consequently it's a bit of a long video, so enjoy that. I will probably give links in the descriptions anyway on both.
Yeah, I just posted the link to the video I was referring to.
Anyway, that was
If you
Death
wanna
Note,
post that.
so...
Yeah, let's cut this
That
over
was
because
Death
it's
Note.
way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Death Note. See you for whatever we do next.
See ya.
Hopefully we'll do the anime in the future or something.
See ya.
See ya.